Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Bashem Rakak. My name is Jacobo from Plain Tables Camp of Philly. Now, we teach in Great Millstone about predestination and the Father Yahweh, which He committed everything to His Son, Yahushai, controls life and death, good, evil. You have a left-hand side and an evil, which is the evil side, and you have the right-hand side. All right, and the Most High, through His Son, controls both. All right, so you're gonna look up Psalm 68 and 19. Blessed be the Lord, who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the power of our salvation. Salah. He that is our God is a God of salvation, and unto Yahweh the Lord belongeth the issues from death. Now we look up issues. And we got a long one here. We got Thoa Tazawath. And it means escape from death, outgoing extremities, source extremities, the outer edges. All right. Deliverance, which is implying escape, going out, going forth from what? Death. All right. The issues, escape, the border, the outer edges of it. All right. Of death, which is the subject. Unto Yahweh belongeth the issues of death, issues from death, the going out, deliverance from. Then you apply it to what's before or after the word. All right. Also, the place of termination. All right. The end. Termination means like the end of it. All right. Deliverance. Going forth out. And it goes going forth. Look at the word going forth. Goings out. Goings out. Going out. All right. Escape. Escape. On the edges of it, and death is the subject. So escape from death. All right. He that is our God is a God of salvation, and unto Yahweh Lord belongeth the issues from death. All right. But Yahweh shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such and one as goeth on still in his trespasses. All right. So Esau is eventually going into slavery. And though Esau, he's going to get old, he's going to get recompense. All right. Now I have an example of divine intervention. All right. It says, hero Dr. Peter Gold watches his own shooting for the first time, exclusive today. All right. So if this, the point is not whether he's an Israelite or not, is that the Lord, Yahushua, decides who lives and who dies. All right, it's not up to the person pulling the trigger or whatever event that's about to happen. The Lord decides it. He controls the scene.
Now, today exclusive, I'm sitting with Peter Gold. This is a guy whose story we covered back in November of 2015. At the time, he was a medical student at Tulane. He tried to help a woman who was being dragged down a New Orleans street at gunpoint. When he tried to help her, the attacker suddenly turned the gun on Peter, shooting him in the stomach, and then really attempting to execute him. Peter, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here.
We're doing this a little differently. We're going to show the story in a second. I wanted to come out to you because when we first met just a few months ago, you told me you've not watched the tape of what happened. It was all caught on surveillance tape. You didn't want to see it. You said you are now ready to watch it. So it's okay if we roll it now?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's take people back to November of 2015. The horrific crime was caught on surveillance tape. A woman being dragged down a New Orleans street by an armed man, now known to be Hurricane. The video shows a brave witness, Peter Gold, a fourth-year medical student at Tulane University, stopping his car to help the woman. But Kane turned his gun on Gold, demanding money.
Got witnesses stating that they heard a man yelling out. I've already told you I don't have any money.
Kane shot him in the stomach and continued to point his gun at Gold, even as he lay wounded on the ground, pulling the trigger again and again. But the gun jammed, sparing Gold's life. The shooter's car and license plate were caught on camera, which ultimately led to his arrest. Hurricane was convicted on multiple charges and sentenced to 50 years in prison. Peter Gold survived, went on to finish his medical degree, and is now speaking out for the first time. Peter, welcome back again. I just watched you.
Okay, so he saw that. So if it was his time to go, that gun wouldn't have jammed. All right, but the Lord decided that this wasn't his time. All right, it's not his time. Whatever good evil happens, whether it's not the man pulling the trigger, it's just the spirit behind it, and it was not his time. He's designed his path is somewhere else. He wasn't meant to die that day. All right, we don't have this free will as that the church, the so-called Christian church teaches, or general people believe. All right, now you have free will to do whatever you want. This is Isaiah 45 and 7. For I form the light. Well, 45 and 6, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none besides me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. So every power, every angel and principality that's set up is controlled ultimately by the Father. All right, and He commissioned that authority to His Son, Yahweh. So there is none else. All right, there's no other spirit outside of Yahweh's control, outside of the Father's control. All right, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. All right, so it's Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh that has the power, not these people. All right, what I hear? Darkness I had. Chashak. Israel, we speak very poetically. So it's referring to wickedness. It also, means wickedness, ignorance. Also can mean sorrow, poetically, misery, destruction, obscurity, and night, or dark. All right, but we, as Israelites, we write poetically. We don't write direct. We use allegories. So that's that. Chashak. All right. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. A war, light. Lightning, lamp. Prosperity, instruction. Yahweh as Israel's light. Here we go. Bright, clear, morning, luminary. 11. Source of enlightenment and prosperity. Light to guide. Light to walk. We bless the lights. All right. Instruction. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai forms the light and darkness, evil, righteousness, good, evil. That's controlled by the powers. All right. And the last one, Ephesians 1 and 5. Well, no. Ephesians 1 and 4. According as He hath chosen us in Him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before Him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahweh Mashiach to Himself, according to the good pleasure of His will. It's His will. It's not our will. All right, destined for a particular fate or purpose. All right. I think I have predestinate up here. Proorizo, to predetermine, decide beforehand. In the New Testament, of the powers, of the power, decreeing from eternity, infinite, undefined time. Right? Yeah, because the Most High doesn't have a beginning. It means existence itself. To foreordain, appoint beforehand. before we were here, before our heading. All right. Our path was written. All right. There was another word up here. Blessed be, according to, he had chosen. Come on now. All right. Electomai. Elecgomia. Elecgomia. Or elecgomai. To choose out, to pick. Of the power choosing whom he judged fit to receive his favors, the grace, and separated from the rest of mankind to be particularly his own and be attended continually by his gracious oversight. Powerful word right there. All right. Elegomai or elegomi. All right. For example, the Israelites. All right. And the Christians are the Israelites. All right. It's basically saying the same thing you just said before, just rehashing it and using the word Christian. All right. Make choice, choose out. All right. So that was not his fate. The Lord decides his fate. As it is written, all souls are mine. The soul that sinneth shall die. All right, let this video play out and in the lesson. Shalom. Mute my mic.
He was a medical student at Tulane. He tried to help a woman who was being dragged down a New Orleans street at gunpoint. When he tried to help her, the attacker suddenly turned the gun on Peter, shooting him in the stomach, and then really attempting to execute him. Peter, good morning. It's good to see you.
Well, it's an honor to be here.
We're doing this a little differently. We're going to show the story in a second. I wanted to come out to you because when we first met just a few months ago, you told me you've not watched the tape of what happened. It was all caught on surveillance tape. You didn't want to see it. You said you are now ready to watch it. So it's okay if we roll it now?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's take people back to November of 2015. The horrific crime was caught on surveillance tape. A woman being dragged down a New Orleans street by an armed man, now known to be Hurricane. The video shows a brave witness, Peter Gold, a fourth-year medical student at Tulane University, stopping his car to help the woman. But Kane turned his gun on Gold, demanding money.
Got witnesses stating that they heard a man yelling out, I've already told you I don't have any money.
Kane shot him in the stomach and continued to point his gun at Gold even as he lay wounded on the ground, pulling the trigger again and again. But the gun jammed, sparing Gold's life. The shooter's car and license plate were caught on camera, which ultimately led to his arrest. Hurricane was convicted on multiple charges and sentenced to 50 years in prison. Peter Gold survived, went on to finish his medical degree, and is now speaking out for the first time. Peter, welcome back again. I just watched you watching that. You just kept shaking your head.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being right there and looking at this guy in the face as he held his gun to me, and he told me point blank, I'm going to kill you. And he shot me in the stomach. I fell to the ground, and watching that and just being able to sit here with you and watch that video, it just makes me feel so lucky and so happy to be able to share this moment with you and to be able to spend time with friends and family.
That gun worked as it was designed to work the first time he pulled the trigger. It got you in the stomach, and then even as he continued to pull the trigger with the gun pointed directly at your head, it jammed. How many times have you asked yourself, why did the gun jam on those next attempts?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's the most surreal part. You could kind of see my back was to him during that time. So if this video never came out, I don't think any of us would have even known that happened. And I just think it's a question we can continue to ask, but I'm just very lucky and fortunate to be able to come out of that alive.
How are you? That bullet to the stomach did a lot of damage. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I mean, luckily, there's nothing that affects me day to day. I have to give credit to Dr. Meg Moore and Dr. Mooney at University Medical Center at Tulane in New Orleans. They took absolute care of me. and you know, it's an incredible miracle.
And you've had an incredible year since then. You got your medical degree. You're finishing up an internship year of orthopedic surgery residency at a hospital not far from here. How often do you go back and think about that day?
I mean, I think about that day every single day of my life. There's not a day that passes by, and you know, there are a lot of people in this country that are affected by gun violence, and there are a lot of people watching here today that know somebody that's been affected or have been affected themselves. And to be sitting here talking to you and have this voice, I hope I'm not only speaking for myself, but speaking for some of them as well too.
You wanted to speak and give a statement at the sentencing of the man who shot you. Can I read a little portion of what you said? I woke up 2 days later in the hospital surrounded by family and a group of best friends. This moment will forever be the happiest moment in my life. I was alive, you hadn't killed me, and with my family by my side, I knew I would bounce back stronger than ever, strong enough to stand face to face with you again. Wow.